what inspired me to do this short film is to shed light on interracial relationship, as me and my team found that there's a lot of controversies and stigma surrounding interracial relationship in Singapore. One of the biggest challenges we faced was actually looking for a suitable couple for our film. They were very comfortable with sharing their stories, and they actually encouraged us to do the film as well. Through this journey of making this film, it actually allowed us to gain more insights on interracial couples in Singapore. Our film is about honoring human relationships regardless of race and religion, just like Murali and Sandy.
So I was just having lunch and I was queuing up in this lontong store called Queenstown Lontong. And I was about to order some food. I saw some interesting behaviors by the food store owner, Yati. So she's cooking, and then I see her like shoving free food to people. So I find it quite interesting because I eventually got some freebies when I visit her store, and that was my first visit. That just dawned on me, like, why didn't it occur to me to feature a story about her? I got her contact number, and I do not know why, when I had the first conversation with Yati on the phone, we were on it for an hour and a half, and she just literally shared her life story to me.
While filming Bobby, the number one thing we learned more is Bobby himself and his take on life. Even though his mistakes and his challenges were there, I think we can all learn from him. He didn't need to have a very good life in the past, but now he just wants to have a simple and close relationship with his daughters and his wife. The film is about Bobby honoring his role as a father and also as a husband.
My grandfather has always really inspired me from young, just hearing about all his stories, because he liked to constantly talk about his youth when growing up to us as grandchildren, right? That's probably the first story I've ever heard in my life. It's kind of cathartic, right? If it comes full circle. I tell the very first story that was told to me to the world. And in a way, I can also preserve my grandfather's legacy.
It's now, we'll be shooting this side. And then once cut, we will redo the entire scene again, where we will take off all the dishes again. And we'll filming this side.
There were many things that I didn't really know about, Chin Sian before this filming happened. And once the whole process was done, really surreal to me that there were so many things that I did not know about a very good friend of mine. I sort of strengthened my bonds with him, and I get to know more about myself as well, which is a great thing where I know my strengths and weaknesses. I sort of learned more about this term of honor, where I actually look at my family and friends, and I sort of feel very grateful that I have them. I feel very thankful that I have them. I learned a lot about what it takes to be a better human being and not just a filmmaker.
Halfway through filming the recipe, my grandfather's condition took a turn for the worse. Immediately, my first response is, hey, let's stop filming this. I think it was the encouragement of Mr. Leonard. He put this little idea into my head that he doesn't have to be in the film for you to continue it. After visiting my grandfather, just a long walk outside, and I really thought about the story and what it means to me with my grandfather at my side, and now at the end with me carrying on his legacy without him. So it's almost like foreshadowing for what I'll need to do in the future.
The film was quite just inspired. It's more of a documentation of what happened to my family after losing my father at a young age. It was my first time sort of directing or doing anything in this more creative position. But I felt like I didn't know what I'm doing, but I think everybody knew that. I was trying to still figure it out, and they were giving me a lot of space, and they were just really patient with me. I'm glad that they were there, and I'm glad that they chose to show up. I think time was the factor that allowed me to speak easily about the absence of my father. But then doing this film brought up a lot of really confusing feelings for me. Honor means remembering memories, whether good or bad.
So I would like to thank the members of my team, my lecturer, and Sandy and Murali, as well as Honor, for giving us the opportunity to bring our vision to life and giving us a chance to bring awareness to interracial relationships.
To me, honor means fulfilling your roles and duties in life and being there for people you love.
Honor means being grateful and thankful and being appreciative to what I've achieved and to all the close ones and family and friends that I have with me right now in my journey.
My film honors the hardships that my grandfather went through, and I think it's a shame not to honor what he had done for my entire family and for me as well, because if not for him, I wouldn't even have the chance to go anywhere near all of this in the first place.
When I first met Yati, I feel that she embodies those qualities and values of someone who's very resilient. And when I envision the film, I want her to be someone who inspires others to do the same. I feel that honor is not just about the successes of people, it's also about the struggles to bring them to who they are today.
How is it? Is it a video? Yeah. It's a good shirt. Our pretty talent. Look at him.
This one don't want to see lah.